I just finished up the utility trailer, got the lights on it, new wires, running a battery charger just to test it and make sure everything's good. Got all the clips on there, greased up the hitch, all that stuff, got it working good. And these, when I put the grounds on here, well, this one I got to hit a little bit with truck bed lining. I didn't do this one yet, I noticed that. I do put truck bed lining on them so they don't rust, and also keeps it seals out the ground connection from moisture, like on this one here. See, it's got truck bed lining on it. So, and they came with these little twist tie, these little twist things, which are pretty cheesy, but I put shoe glue around there to seal them so they can't get moisture inside. And then I put truck bed lining over it, again, like on the ground. So, the tail lights work. It's got the, recently put new marine grade plywood with truck bed lining on it. Truck bed lined the frame and stuff, put new bolts in there. So, now it's got the LED lights. So, that ain't too bad. And I put new tires and rims on it. It's not worth getting just the tires because there's my little cat up there. See her? You can see her behind the light. It's feathered. It's not worth getting just tires with these things because they're about the same money as getting a tire with a rim. I mean, you'll be spending a lot of time trying to get the tires off these little rims because I don't really have I'm not sure how you would get these off of here. They might be difficult. They may not be, I'm not sure, but I know my tire changer, they wouldn't fit on that thing. Right, so I got the neck size up. So these were 480, 8-inch rims, 4 bolts. So I got 580. So I had to raise the fender up. And I was able to do that successfully. Reuse the bolts and stuff. Bolts that takes some time. Rusty bolts and stuff like that. So, and I got to hit that one spot there with truck bed line. I didn't even notice that. I missed that spot. I did these over here. See, the truck bed lining keeps the connections from getting corroded. It also has those little splice things for splicing into the brown wire, which is like your tail lights, to these side marker lights. Those things, they will corrode after a while, but not if you put the shoe glue on there or weather strip adhesive to seal them up. If that's all sealed up, those quick connectors work fine as long as they're sealed up. They're crappy if they don't, they last for a little while till the wire gets corroded, maybe several years. But I've actually, on my El Camino, I put the quick connectors on there, splicing into the wires back in 1995. And they're still good today, even though the El Camino is kind of like not really in the garage, sometimes mainly in the carport, but it still gets wet. But even then, the back part used to get wet a lot. It never corroded. It always worked. And that's because I use weather strip adhesive, shoe glue, or whatever to seal up the quick connectors where they can get moisture inside of them. So you put that all around here. So I just got a battery charger on here just to make sure everything works. It works fine. I check the turn signals. Now this is a 2,000 pound hitch. The trailer's rated for 1180. So with the wood on it, maybe 1100, say 1,000 to be safe. The bigger tires will make it a little more stable. You don't need as much air pressure in them. I think the smaller tires are 90 pounds, and the bigger tires are 70 pounds, and they'll hold more weight. So that's an advantage because they're not spinning as fast going down the highway. Now I did take this thing for a 1,000-mile trip before, going down the highway at 65 miles an hour, and it's only supposed to really go to 55, and it worked fine. That's my little Onyx over there sneezing. My cat. And it worked fine. So I got something now I can hold a cannon barrel with because my El Camino is wounded right now, possibly got a bad rod bearing. And if I ever pick up a local engine from a local company, I could pick up the engine with the Suzuki. So this has the 2000 Class 1 trailer hitch It's not a 2,000 pound trailer, but that's what the coupler is rated for. So that uses a 1 7/8 ball. So over here on my Suzuki, I had a 2-inch ball. This thing can only pull about 1,000 pounds anyway, max. With this is only rated for, it's, you know, you can put it, it's got a class 2 hitch on it for 2,000 pounds, but this vehicle can really only pull about 1,000. So it could pull about what the weight of that trailer can hold. And so I took off the 2-inch ball and I put the 1 7/8, so it fits that coupler. And it's a good thing I have an impact wrench to loosen up that big nut, so that makes it a lot easier. And of course, this has a little thing for the chain. It'll hook around there. So what I got to do tomorrow, and I'm going to do this when it's light out because I can't see what the hell I'm doing when it's dark, is I got the adapter to adapt the yellow amber turn signals to the regular kind that the American cars have. Like American cars use the brake light and the turn signal both red, the same light. Japanese cars have brake lights and tail lights red and turn signals amber. So you have to run a special adapter. So I'll be putting that in tomorrow, which I have. And I got the stuff cheap, so I want to get this done before I start messing with this El Camino, which I don't know what's really wrong with it. I think it has a bad rod bearing. Just happened. I have not started it up since that noise was there. It's a shame because I just put a cam in it and stuff, but it's down from the bottom end. It's possible I might just be able to put bearings in it and get away with that for a while. Because I don't put, the reason I did just the top end on this, and didn't, because first off, putting a replacement motor is a lot more work than just doing a top end, you know, the cam and stuff and the timing chain and all that. Well, I use this often, but usually it's a lot of short trips. Maybe I'll go on a couple 100-mile trip once in a while, but I don't even think I put 3,000 miles on this in a year. So if the engine lasted 15,000 more miles, which you're thinking, oh, that's not much. Well, in my case, that would be 5 years. So why would I put a whole engine in it if I don't need one for 5 years, right? But we'll see. I might get one from Rock Auto, and that's another option. With the discount, I think it's $1,630, and I'd still keep my engine. That's $1,630 delivered, complete $350, and I'll still keep the 305. And I could probably put a crank in a 305 and some rings or something and have it like ready to go as a spare rebuilt. That might be the option, but I got to get rid of all these little projects first. I have to, so doing the trailer thing. Tomorrow I got to do the lights on the back here, the wiring to adapt that to the trailer over there. And then also I got to work on this. It's got a minor problem where the electric fan doesn't come on. It's not the relay, it's not the fuse, it's not the fan motor itself. I don't know where it is. I looked at it a couple times, but I don't really use this. You could actually use this car. It's just that you got to watch if you get stuck in traffic in the hot weather. You might overheat. But you could use this car for 10-mile trips or even down a highway, but you know, so it's not really critical. So I don't like having things broken. So I got to get it going on this. That was something I delayed doing, but we shall see. All right, Mr. Cat. He's been sneezing a lot. You've been choking on your... It's the dude, right? Yeah, you're the dude. He's stopping, though. He might have had some hairballs. Here he almost did it again there. Right? You going to do it again? Huh? Eh? I don't know what he did. But it might be hairballs. It doesn't seem like he's a problem, but... Freaking yo-yo. But anyway, that's... These things take more time than you think. It's like every time I go to do this stuff, it's like I got it in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to knock it out. Everything takes way more time. And that's partly because I try to do things extra good. And that's why I don't like taking my stuff to a place. And one thing I'm kind of worried about is getting that engine for the El Camino. So every single place I heard of that sells these remanufactured engines, I don't care if it's Jags, Summit Racing, there's a place down in South Carolina that sells them. I was almost going to get it from them. There's a place over here, Titan Engines. I heard good stuff and I heard bad stuff. I could spend all that money on a rebuilt engine, and the thing could be a piece of crap, right? Even if it's in warranty. I heard horror stories. Even if you had it done by a professional installer, They don't even honor their warranties. All of them are doing this crap. That's why it was the main reason why I wasn't even wanting to get a rebuilt engine. Because I don't know what the hell you don't know who the hell putting it together. They don't honor their warranties, man. Even Jasper is a pain in the ass with that, I heard. They will tell you to send the engine back so they can see what went wrong before they resolve the problem at your expense. I'm like, get the hell out of here. This is a crock of crap. So I'm a little leery on doing a rebuilt engine thing. By the way, I looked up the VIN number and stuff on my El Camino. It was made in Georgia. So this is Mama Cat. It looks like the same cat, don't it? They look like twins. This is Mama Cat. She's a little smaller. That's why her left ear was tipped. His right ear was tipped. But her tail's a little more feathery. So, yeah, my El Camino was built in Georgia. So it is a southern car. It's born in the Confederacy. So possibly maybe I'll talk to somebody up in Georgia about getting an engine. So that might be another possibility. Anyway, over and out. So projects are going. And working on a website last night a lot, so that was another thing I was doing. So I am actually working 15 hours a day on stuff. But this came out pretty good. I'm gonna hit that with some truck bed lining right now. I missed it. That's why I don't like doing things at night sometimes, because so you can't see what the hell you're doing. I missed that one over there. I'll be doing the wiring on the little 4x4 tomorrow, so this will be ready to hook up. But the trailer right now is all ready. I did not re-grease the wheels, but when I greased these a gazillion years ago, I put so much grease in there that I had a hammer on that cap. In other words, those things are like super packed. I don't think it'll be any problem. I'm not going to take any long trips with it. But yeah, I just put some air in these tires and then be all set. But I'm glad I got the bigger tires. That's going to make it a little. This little thing actually is pretty good. It's surprisingly. This little stupid utility trailer, even though it's the smallest one around, it works pretty good as long as you have everything balanced on it right. I could actually put the Canon on here. It's about, the wheel would stick out a half an inch on this side, or maybe a quarter inch. But I could put some angle iron on here, move this over just a hair, and put a piece of angle iron 6 feet long from here to here, with a piece of angle underneath here, weld it to that, and bolt it together. I could probably hold the Canon on here for short distances too, even with that little Suzuki, because the weight of the Canon is no more than 600. This is 200 max. So you're talking really under 750 pounds. That Suzuki can do it, no problem. I'm not talking down the highway, but down secondary roads for say 15, 20 miles. So glad this is done.